special abilities. You can click tab and it will sort through each of the units, highlight each different one. So now I have my Marauders highlighted, and then I click tab again, it now goes to my Siege Tanks. Or now I have my Marauders highlighted, and now back to Ghosts. So Marines, Siege Tank, Marauders, Ghosts. So you just hit tab to sort through them. So whenever you have an entire group, you can tab to get Siege Tanks, and then unsiege them, and then you can move them around. And then once you get to the area that you want, you can siege them up. You would actually be using a shift command, which I'll go over in other videos, but that's just showing that each unit has their own hotkeys for their special abilities. So like Marauders and Marines, if I was to upgrade Stimpack, you would then get the Stimpack ability. So in the middle of battle, I would just have my Marauders or Marines highlighted and hit T, and that would give them the Stimpack ability.
Sure about that?
So now over to control groups. Control groups, again, they're hotkeys that you assign for your own structures, units, or really anything you can assign control group to. And what they are they're these numbers right here. And how you assign a control group is you highlight whatever you like to have as control group, and then you click control and then whichever number. So for this Marauder, I'm going to set him to a control group of 1. So I would highlight the Marauder and click control 1, and as you can see, it just set him to the control group 1. So let me bring this over so I don't have to deal with the computer. So now anywhere I'm at, I can click 1 and it's going to highlight that Marauder. I can double click 1, double tap it, and it's going to take me right to that Marauder. So I could be in the middle of the map, I can click 1 and it highlights that Marauder, or I can double tap 1 and it's going to take me right to this Marauder. This can be used for multiple selections. How I set up my control groups always is my main army, I'll always have 1, and then for 2 and 3 I have set up for my separate for like individual units. So like a Ghost I would have set as 3, and I've already have 2 set for 2 Reapers. So I have 2 Reapers set down here, and I just double tap 2 and I highlight my Reapers. I can also be over here and hit 2 and it's going to highlight my Reapers. Double tap and I get to my Reapers so I can control them. So that's the importance of control groups, how you can set your own units or buildings. And as I was saying, you can also set buildings. So if I want to set all 3 of these barracks, I can I double click them to highlight all 4 actually, and then I click control 4, and that sets all these barracks to control group 4. And what makes this so nice, and this is very important in a game, whenever you're controlling, so if I was to be controlling these 2 Reapers and I have a lot of gold I need to spend, I can click 4 while controlling these units, and then click DDD, AAA, DD, AA to start building units. As you can see, they're building units by just clicking the hotkeys for them. I don't have to click anything. So I have these Reapers selected, I click 4, and then I click AAA to build 3 Marines. Or I have them selected, click 4, RRR to build 3 Reapers. Or GGG for Ghosts. So again, that's the importance of hotkeys, because you'll be controlling your main army down here. You'll be controlling your main army down there, and you'll run into, you want to keep unit production up, because while you're microing, you don't want to just stop producing units. So that's where the hotkeys come in from. You can then start building the hotkeys, or you can be building units based off while you're microing. So that's the importance of getting the control groups down. And again, it's very important that you get those control groups down, because it's going to allow you to quickly access all your units, your buildings, and everything in your base. I'm going to go over a couple other videos of how I set up my control groups. I'm going to do a video for each race where I explain how I set up my control groups for the Terran race, my Protoss, and when I'm playing Zerg. So that way you can see exactly how I set each one of them. This is just like a brief example of the basics of control groups and what they're for and how to use them, and also hotkeys. but in the next videos I'm going to break down how to set each one up. So for example, I have my orbital command set for 5. So if I'm controlling my army, or just Reapers I'm trying to harass down here, I click double tap 5 and then drop a mule really quickly, and then go right back to my Reapers. So again, the control groups are really important, and so are the hotkeys. Like, I can't emphasize enough for new players when you're first starting the game. You really need to make sure you're using control groups. If you make sure you never ever take a unit and click build and then find what you're trying to build, that's just a very bad habit. The only thing you ever want to do is click B, and then while you're learning you can look to see what they are, and I say I need to find an engineering bay, I see that, and then click E to build it. That's something you guys have to get down if you ever want to be like a good Starcraft 2 player and ever get really fast and get higher APMs. It's really important that you get those basics down, and then once you have those basics down, you can go on to more advanced builds and getting really good with hotkeys and everything like that. But I can't emphasize enough. And then setting your control groups, you really want to use your control groups. You should be using all of them. Like, again, the general outline for control groups is usually 1 through 3 is your army, 4 through 6 or 7 would be your production buildings, such as my factory, starports, or command center, barracks, and then the rest, like 7 or 8, 9, 8, 9, 0 would be your upgrade units, or upgrade buildings, such as engineering bay, armory, and any extra things that you need. So just make sure you practice them, force yourself to do them. Once you start doing them, they become very easy, but the key is, it's just like anything. Once you just have to force yourself to do them, and once you actually get in the habit of doing control groups, it's going to become second nature to you, and you won't even have to think about it. So again, I'm going to be going over how I set up my control groups for all 3 races in the next couple videos, so I will see you guys next time.